Debt is a growing problem in Canada, but things may not be as bad as you think or as those collection agencies suggest. Canadian shoppers are on a spending spree. Problem is, as a country, we've racked up a personal debt worth $1.3 trillion. For more and more consumers, there's no way to keep up the debt payments, and that leads to phone calls from collection agents.
Collectors are trained to create a sense of discomfort when people get these calls. They're trying to motivate these people to pay.
But in fact, lawyer Mark Silverthorn says collection agencies have almost no power. Many will threaten to garnish wages or send a sheriff to seize assets, but they can't without a court's order. Silverthorn spent a dozen years working for collection agencies. Now he acts for consumers, and his book, The Wolf at the Door, addresses what consumers can do to stave off the collectors, starting with stopping the calls.
You can send a registered letter to the collection agency advising them that you dispute owing the debt and inviting them to sue you.
If you're getting calls from collection agencies, it usually means the creditor has already decided they're not going to sue you to get their money back, or they would have done it already. He says creditors only sue about 1 out of every 10,000 consumers with debt. Relatively small debts are least likely to go to court.
Major credit grantors are probably not going to sue somebody over a debt of around $4,000 or $5,000.
You should also beware of bogus but real-looking legal documents designed to make you think you're being sued when you're not.
For the unsophisticated consumer, they're going to think that they've been sued when in fact they haven't.
Finally, Silverthorn says many consumers don't know that with a little help from a pro, many creditors will take less than the full amount you owe.
When your debt is 7 months in default, there are creditors that will routinely accept 15 or 20 cents on the dollar on a lump sum payment to settle an account.
Now contrast that with what happens if you go to credit counseling, where you're going to be expected to pay your debt in full without interest over about 3 to 5 years. In Ontario, the #1 consumer complaint is collection agencies. Silverthorn says consumers still have to pay debts. The question is how much. And he says you don't have to tolerate those harassing calls if, again, you tell the credit agencies through a registered letter to back off.